finally, I'm going to replant the top of this urn here. And it's pretty much time for me to start transitioning my garden from its summer look effortlessly into its fall look. Slowly, I'm going to start integrating my fall containers, just however the flow and time allows me to naturally transition different areas of my garden. So in order to do that, I'm also having to cut down on chores. Now, I just pulled my summer container out of the top of this fountain right here. And by doing that, it is going to eliminate some of the chores that I have to do in this area. For the fountain here, we just recently went in a few days ago, cleaned the fountain, treated the fountain, but because I have supertunias that's overhead, they're steadily dropping out petals. What happens is they end up dropping down flowers down into the water up underneath. It makes the water dirty, and that's yet again another chore that I have to come out and complete. But since I'm working by myself, I'm going to have to try to cut down on whatever chores I can in my small garden here. So it's one of the beauties of having a small garden. If you do things kind of, you know, have a certain recipe for doing things, there's a possibility that you're able to go in and get a lot of things done on your own without having a big crew. Although I wouldn't mind having a crew, because then certain things would be kept a lot tidier around here. So we're going to plant this up. Before I climb back up there, let me show you the plants that we're going to be using over here in this area here. I know it looks like quite a lot. We might not need all of these. It just all depends. But I'll show you what I brought out for us to use. So I have a purple cabbage, and I like it because it's kind of like gives a silver undertone, but then it has like that purplish pink veining here. And then if we hop over one next, I have a green cabbage, again, that has that same like purplish pink veining there as well. The inside of it is going to be a very, very, very deep purple, and I like that. Then we have our pink mums here, and they're not open enough for you to see the inside of the mum, what it looks like. And then I have a Winter Survivor purple pansy. I'll try to open this up so you can see the middle of it. So it has that deep dark center yellow, and then it has kind of like that lavender color. So we have a 6-pack of these as well. 2 cabbages right here. We have 3 of these, 4 mums, and then we have a 6-pack. Let's go run and grab some soil real quick. And all out here when I was watering, the bees were like buzzing. I was trying to escape the bees. There are certain areas in my garden where I'm not watering them, so it makes it easier to pull. So I was able to pull that container just by lifting it up, because when the soil dries out, it likes to compact. So hopefully I can get over there, get the soil, and come back without being swarmed by bees, honey, because they are everywhere. And if they're everywhere, we'll just leave it at that. I mean, this bumblebee is out here living its entire life. I mean, going from plant to plant. It was just on this arrangement right here. Now it's done went to the next one. Let's see if we can get it. Hold on, let me wait till it get in there. Yep, got it. We got it. Let's see, where is it going now? Ooh wee. Can you see it? I don't want to get too close while it's working. The roses is closed up, so it can't get in there. But it is loving this pansy. See, the roses is too closed up for it, but in order for it to get something from there, I mean, let me move out this way, go back over here. Whew. But as I was saying, at the soil, and we'll climb up here. I probably should have broke the ladder out, but I think we're fine. The only thing we have to do is I need a piece of screen and a stick in order to make sure our urn doesn't get clogged up here. So I have a little bit too much soil, so I take some of it out. This level right here should be pretty good. Right here, this level. Maybe one more scoop. All right, perfect. So I'm just making sure that everything is tucked in nice and neat here. the look is done. I put in a obelisk at the top here. Then I came in and I'm going to show you a 360 of what this looks like here. So all around, I alternated with the cabbages that I had, and I actually used all of the plants that I had allocated for this area here. And the obelisk in the top, at first I had a smaller obelisk, and then I was looking at the scale. The scale wasn't right because I'm coming in and I'm using larger plants. And I'll give you a close-up of the scale. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But one thing to remember, when you are doing these type of arrangements for your fall look, I'm telling you, the cabbages are certainly in. Every fall, I go off the chain with cabbages because the cabbages give you a good look. They're cool weather plants, and they're going to be able to sustain those fluctuations in temperatures that we have here. And they're basically, it doesn't take a lot to take care of them. So that's why I like to use the cabbages here. Now, let's get in close and let's look at this. And I'm telling you, when I look at this, it just gives me all of the feels, all of the where is my pumpkin spice, all of the where is my maple coffee feel and vibes that you like. You know, it's getting us ready for sweater season, if you will. This is what we look like. We have our cabbages here, and you can see that I came in and I tucked in a mum, and then I also have violas here. Now these are done in no particular pattern, so I'll turn it this way so you can see kind of how it looks. Then if we go right here, you can see again in no particular pattern how it looks. Now right here, I am going to take a second mum and stuff that right here because I want it to be more of a accent of the mums on this side here. But again, it's no particular pattern that we have placed our plants here. So we have just one viola right here. We come around to this side right here. Again, you can see it's no particular pattern that we have our mums and our violas here. Around to this side right here. So here is the front up close. And again, so we have a viola right here. We have a spent bloom, so I'll go ahead and I'll pinch that back. And then we have a mum coming here. And then once the viola blooms back out, then it'll kind of take up this area right here. But no particular pattern. I do have an obelisk. Now I started out with a smaller obelisk at first, and I went ahead and I changed that out for a larger obelisk. I wanted the scale to be just right. Sometimes your scale can be off and it doesn't give you the look that you're going for. But I totally love this, and it's just a repeat of cabbages on the inside, and then I topped it off with the cabbage as well. So I like the texture. I totally love the floret of the cabbages here. It looks like a beautiful flower here, and then I like how the two colors play off one another. Totally love this. And our cabbage and our kale is going to continue to get larger as the season goes on. And then as far as with our mums here, I'll be making sure with the mums that I keep these deadheaded. So you see these are flower out, and then I'll come in and then I'll pinch it about right there. But then you see that they're in different phases of bloom. So you got mums that are closed up real tight. You have mums that are just breaking the bud stage. And then again, you have ones that haven't even, the flower hasn't even opened all the way up yet. And then if you look right here, if you look right there, you can see where our next blooms are going to be. So with your mums, you want to make sure you continue to deadhead your mums in order to get the look that you're going for in your garden, in order to stretch your money and make sure that your show continues on for quite some time. Really, we shouldn't have any type of flower petals falling in the bottom of the fountain here. So although we just cleaned out the fountain, we are going to briefly clean that up again. And I do have to add one more plant to this arrangement in order to make it get the feel that I'm going for. And I know you're thinking, child, there is nothing else that can go inside it, but I'm telling you, it can. And once I add that plant over here on the side, it's going to look absolutely, it's going to look so much better. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely gorgeous. And I'm excited about that. Now, with the fountain, one of the things and ways that you can clean your fountain, you can come in, you can empty everything out. You can decrease the water level by half, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to go in again and I'm going to treat with bleach. So let's go ahead. I do have to skim everything out really quick. It shouldn't take us long. Also, one of the things that I like to do when I have situations where I have a lot of like plant debris inside of my water, what I like to do is I put a screen up which blocks the pump, because with your pump is going to cycle out your water, right? And with cycling out the water, what happens is that it's going to bring all of that debris towards the pump. Well, in order for me to get to my pump house, I would have to take this big urn down. I would have to take this second block down. And then from there, I can make whatever alterations I need to make to the pump. But since I'm not trying to do all of that, a lot of times, well, basically every time I can, I'll go ahead and I'll take a piece of window screen and then let everything fall to the window screen, and then I'll come in and I'll take it out. Now, this water will take overnight to be clear, and let's just go ahead and get started really quick. Look how intense the root system is in this. These mums here are a good price and a good deal, especially when you're using them to kind of finagle into your arrangements. Now, this one right here is an orange. And you see the size of it here, and you can tuck these in real nice, very easy. But the best part about all of this is going to be the price. Now, these are $1.98, so 5 of these would not cost you very much and will make a big statement, will make a large impact on whatever arrangement that you're doing here. Now, let's see if we can look at the flower. These aren't open yet, but let's go ahead and inspect what the flower will look like. So here we have a beautiful mum color. They're more along the yellow side of orange. Here is one that's even more open than the first. Again, still a beautiful color. But what we are looking for, the ideal transitional opening spot for the smaller ones is going to be, let's reach back up in here because they're not as open, and I think This is an entire flat that we probably could just pull out right here. All right. So this entire flat here, and I just dropped one. We'll set these right here for now. Pick up this little guy right here that fell out. Let's look at these here. If we can get this back inside. Okay, right there. So that's a nice little transitional spot. We'll get a cart. Here's our cart here. We'll get these. All right. So very nice, where you can kind of start to see the color that you're going to be getting. And again, it is that orange color. And we're looking at $2 per plant. That's going to go a long way for us. Now our coordinating color, we could go with this pink color here. Very nice. And again, if we step back so you all can see, the ones in the front are more bloomed out than the ones in the back. And this is going to be the ones that we're going for right here. Here we go. We'll take this one right here. I have a total of, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't really need that many. I really only need half and half. So half in the pink and half in the orange. So let's flop these. Now that I'm looking at this, let's see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and go with half and half. So we'll take half of these out and keep the halves. But I am going to get the ones that are more like this than the ones that are more like this right here. So I'll just take the ones that I'm not using and kind of just fill them back in the open spots here. If I can get this one in, okay, just like that. Okay, so we'll take this one out. And although I do like the fact that you can see the ones that are open, you can see more of the color, I really want them to be more closed like that. So we'll take these two right here and we'll put these back. We'll take this one out. This one right here we're going to keep, so we'll go ahead and put it back in here. We'll take this one out. Isn't that pretty? And we'll take this one out right here. And these are the ones that we're going to keep. So just enough to where you can actually see kind of like the pink color, but not enough to where you can actually see the full bloom. So this one right here didn't make the cut because you can already see the inside of it. So we'll put these two back right here. We need half a flat of the orange, so this should go very easy because we can just take the orange, put them right here. This one right here is nice. And this one right here. This is a good one right here. Right here, we'll take this one as well. And then also we'll snag this one. So this is how our color kind of looks up from the top. Everything looks good and even. So this is what we'll go with right here. We'll take this, put this back. Right back here where we got it from. set that in there. I guess if we pull this out, we could get it in there, right? All right, there we go. And then we'll just, all right, so that's perfect. And we'll set this one back because we don't need it. Again, we'll push that in and let's keep shopping. These cabbages here look pretty good, so I am going to pick up some of the cabbages here. So I try to look for the biggest ones that I can find to kind of stretch my dollar. So this is a pretty good one here, so we'll get one and then I'll get a second one as well. This one looks pretty good. I like the ruffles in it, the variations as well. We do kind of have some damage here to the back, but that's okay because we'll just snag that off. But overall, I like the formity of it. It has a good form, and so it'll work out perfect for us. So we'll take this one as well. We'll just slide that right on in here. And I'll scoot this over just a little bit and put our cabbage right there. I am going to need like 2 more of these for a different arrangement that we have going on. So what is this? Okay, so I will take this one right here because I'm going to need at least 2 of these. So I'll get this, and then I will also snag this as well right here. So it looks pretty good. So we'll get that. And I probably should have got an open cart because you see I'm already full right here. So we might switch out, but for right now, let's just keep looking. And if we're being quite honest, I probably should go ahead and get 4 of these because typically whenever I'm doing some type of arrangement, it's always in a pair. So we will go ahead and get 4 of these. I like to look and make sure we don't have any snails, but this is just a leaf from another plant, so we'll take this with us. And let's look and see. Here's some up here. They're more in the shade, but they're not as big as the ones down here. We'll definitely go with these. And actually this one right here and this one right here looks like a good pair. I'll take this one and I'll put that on the bottom here. Then also this one, it looks pretty good, but you see how when we look up underneath the undercarriage, it has a lot of leaves that's dying. But again, we can take that out. But for the most part, what we're looking for is the center of the plant. It looks pretty good. The formation is good. What is that? I don't want to take nothing home. Okay, so it looks like it was just a piece of dirt and water. So we'll definitely snag this one too. All right, so there we have 2 at the bottom, we have 2 at the top, we have 2 of these, and then we have a tray of these. Here we have different types of cabbage, and what I mean by different, now these are all going to kind of be labeled as your cabbages as well as your kales, and they're coming in at $5.98, which is not bad, but sometimes it can take a little bit more money in order to get the look that you're looking for. What we're going to do is we're going to grab some of these because these are a different texture than these right here. So they're both green, but you can see them here side by side. Definitely going to get a different type of feel between the two. I get 4, and again, I like to always look for the biggest ones and the healthiest ones that I can find. So right off the bat, I know I'm going with this one. So we got one, and then I definitely know, because these right here, this variety is limited. So I'm definitely going to get one of these two. So we got two, but again, I'm going to get another pair of these. So let's see, here's one right here, and then one right here, but they're not as large as this one. So I'll get this one, and this one right here will work. So we have 4 right here. This one is our largest one, but we're still going to snag all 4 of these. Then we also have more cabbages along the way here. So what we'll do is we're going to take this one, and even though we have other cabbages, this is going to have our red center here. So we'll take this one right here. It looks pretty good. These are on the smaller side of all of the ones that we're looking at. They're the smallest cabbages, but what we'll do is we'll look for the largest ones. So for example, instantly when I look up, they're automatically bigger than the ones that they have sitting down. So what we'll do, again, we're going to get 4 of these. We're going to take 1, 2, 3, and I need one more. Any contenders? Okay, it looks like it's some bigger ones back here. So nope, not a contender. So here is one right here. So we're going to snag this one as well. So let me set down our 4. So 1, 2, 3, and then I need one more of this color, and I think I had set one out here. Let's see. Yeah, this one is the bigger of the 2. So this is what we got so far from here. Now we got to try to make all of these work. So let's go find a bigger cart and try to maximize, because it's just me shopping today. Let's see, and they're not going to fit at the bottom of here at all. So let's go ahead and get a larger cart. Everything was able to fit inside of the cart here. I squeezed stuff in right here, and then the same on the bottom here. So now we can go ahead and check out.
Cash, we're gonna go to this one over here. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm good. How are you?
You need help doing that? Get somebody come help.
I'm good. Thank you.
Have a good one. Thank you. You too. Not too big, nice, too big apart. Man, we passed each other like when she went to work this morning. I left too.
Here are all of the plants that we got, just so you can see them all laid out, the different varieties of cabbages that we have here. So we have different kales that are more of a soft texture. Then we have kale that has the ruffles in them. And all of the sizes are pretty nice. Also, we have cabbages and kales that have more of the purple color. They still have some ruffles along the outside of them. This is a pretty good start, but in order to complete the show that we need, we're going to need tons more. Then we bought some more polka dot plants. Then, of course, our mums. You'll just have to make sure you subscribe so you can definitely see where we're going to use this at. But I am so excited about our start, and I'm so loving the way everything is going to be looking. as long as everything goes as planned. But as you can see, we're starting to get some dehydration, so I am going to go ahead and water these in really quick. In order to finish the arrangement that we planted up in the back, we do need one of these pinks right here because we didn't quite have enough. So let's get these babies watered in. We'll set this off to the side first though. Really shouldn't take us long in order to pop in this mum inside of this urn right here. Let me show you the area where we're going to tuck this in at. Right here in this area, if I move this back, this is where we're going to put our mum at right here. All right, so we're just going to just squeeze it right in here. Now you see the difference that just made for us? Gorgeous. And then just kind of just pull your plant over. We did the work that we're going to do on the fountain for today. I do want to run in and check on the hydrangea cuttings that we took some time ago. So let's go see if those hydrangea cuttings have rooted in, which I know they have because I always have 100% success with my hydrangea cuttings, because in order to have a show like this next season, that fork in the road now in our journey with our hydrangea cuttings. So let's go ahead and head to the next step. I took the liberty of setting all of the supplies up that we're going to be using. Now, first things first, when I transition my hydrangeas over, there are a couple of things that I do. Now, we have our hydrangeas, And a lot of these have definitely rooted in. We only checked one. The ones that were smaller, those did have roots, but they dried out. I can already tell by how they're looking, because they were looking fine, and I came in and this entire tray was dry, and I started to have some leaves that were not looking as desirable, and you can see the burn on the leaves here, and I'll show you that in just a second. But I like to use some type of root starter or root stimulator. This is going to help our hydrangea start to push those new roots out to grow into the big, beautiful plants that we need them to be in order to get the show that we're looking for. Then, if you don't have root stimulator on hand, but you have some rooting hormone, let me give you a little tip. You can take your rooting hormone and whisk it in, you all, and you can make that be your root stimulator, if you will. It's going to help continue to push those roots forward. And then also some fish fertilizer. And then in the next process, I add a few more things to what I'm doing in addition to what's here. Then our distilled water. Then I also use some perlite. And then whatever type of soil you're going to be using, and again, whatever vessel you have. We will get in close and take a look at our hydrangea cuttings so we can go over them and look how well they did. Now, I am going to be using this one tray because I have so many rows allocated to seed starting and things of that nature. I'm limited on space. So typically I would go in and I would bump them up into this size right here. But in order for me to keep these on the shelf, I would need at least 2 of these, because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that all we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, I would need at least 2 of these, because these can hold 4 of these containers. We are going to maximize our space here, and we're going to be using these cubes here. Now, I was going to put these on my Amazon page, but when I went back in to link them to my Amazon page, they were no longer for sale. But I did see a variation of these, so I will go ahead and put the link for those down in the description box. So it's similar to these, and what I like about these is there's no waste. You can use these from year to year. Our soil, we're going to start taking our soil and we are going to prep our soil here. Now, we're just going to take some regular potting soil, and I am going to wear regular gloves, so you want to have on some type of vinyl or some type of nitrile glove. Any type of glove that you have that's going to create a barrier for your hands here. All right, now, we're going to mix our soil down. So I'm just using some Sky Green potting soil. Nothing fancy. So just some regular old potting soil. Okay. So I just did 3 of the scoops here, and I like to go in and pull out the big pieces of bark here. This is what I've retrieved so far. These big, huge pieces of bark. The rest of these I will go ahead and leave. Like, here's a rock in here. You can use a sifter and sift this out. And a lot of this is just weight that they like to mix in mulch with the soil here. So it seems like we got most of the larger type particles out of our soil, so we can go ahead and a few more. This is about how much potting soil I have. So now we are going to take a scoop of our perlite, and we're going to just put this in like so. And your perlite sometimes will be dusty. And we're just going to mix this in. All right, so it looks like we got enough mixture and enough for our containers here. So from there, we're just going to go in and just start filling up our squares here. Ooh, so that lifted up on me. So I'm going to take out my cubes because I don't want a bunch of just soil just randomly just packed in. Another beauty about these, easy peasy, easy fix. Take this stick out. Just enough soil for our 7 here. And this one on the end is a little light, but it's okay. All right, now, so I'm going to move some of the soil away here. And I'm going to take my first cutting out. So here's our first cutting. Oh, baby is rooted in. Okay, so I'm going to pop this up like this. It is like rooted in so good. Yes. Can you see how rooted in this is? Can you see the roots right there? All right, so we'll come in on the side here and get our hydrangea cutting out this way. Look at that. Roots growing all out of the bottom, baby. Yes. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Gorgeous. All right, and actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick this up just like this. And because this one is rooted in so well, I'm not going to put it inside of this container. We're going to pivot a bit here because it's rooted. I'm going to go ahead and pop this in a regular container. I kind of knew I was gambling with the length of time. I'm just going to put it in there just like that. And we'll have to make some more of the mixture. Look at that. Just beautiful, gorgeous. Just like that. This is how we're going to put this one in, just like this. It was loving this absolute total life. I'm going to take this container here and I am going to just pour some distilled water or whatever water you've been using to water your cuttings. Just go ahead and use it. Then we're going to take some fish fertilizer. Now I have a video where I talk about the fish fertilizer in detail, the benefits, what it does for your hydrangea cuttings and why you need to use them. With the fish fertilizer, you want to use your fish fertilizer when it is well shooken up. Now it does have a scent to it. Scent does not bother me. It is what it is. Any type of fertilizer that you use, unless they have a janky type of fertilizer or they're using some type of perfume, you're going to have a smell. This just so happens to smell like fish because, again, hence the name, it is fish fertilizer. So you can see the rooting hormone, I am going to show you just the smallest amount of rooting hormone I'm going to put in here. It's a bit much. So about that much in there. Can you guys see that? We're going to put that in and whisk that in. Now we're going to come in. We're going to take just a drop of the fish fertilizer, and I will make sure that I go ahead and I link the one that I use. Just a small little amount. You see that? A small amount. And what we're going to do, you can pour it in each one, but we're going to bottom water these in. A lot of these have some good strong roots on them. Some of them, the roots were so strong we could barely get them out of the packaging. And I am about a week and a half behind. And had I been, stuck to my timeline, then we would have had 3 more additional hydrangeas. But I always say take more cuttings than what you need. So for this batch, this is the right amount that we need right here. And we are going to bottom water just like this. We're going to pour this whole entire amount in here and let this drink this on up. Then from there, we'll go ahead. We're going to put it back in the environment that it was in. We're not going to put it outside just yet. And then I'll show you the next step that we do with these. Majority of the fertilizer that I've put in there has already been soaked up. What we'll do is we'll slide this back on the shelf. Water these in just like this. Bottom water. Is the amount of water that I give them. Can you guys see that? So I'll let them continue to soak this up. And again, they're still getting that filtered light. The thing about your hydrangea cuttings from this standpoint, I'm giving these filtered light. They're not on a heat mat right now. One of the reasons why I'm giving them the filtered light is because your hydrangeas, big leaves, are going to want to take 6 hours. You can kind of get away with that more if you're in a more northern region, but the more south you are, the less amount of sunlight, direct sunlight, you want to give them. You guys, I've seen gardens that have big leaf hydrangeas in Savannah, Georgia. It tells you that if you give it the right type of environment, no matter where you are in the United States, then you definitely can have the plant that you're looking for. And then in the daytime, I'll come back and if I need to turn the lights on here, it's something I totally can do. I can provide them with more light. I can control the atmosphere that they have. See, I can give them more supplemental lighting. But when they're in this phase, I just bump them up. I am going to give them just dappled light here. So I'm going to go back in and turn off the lights that I had just turned back on, and kind of give them that dappled light type situation. In 2 or 3 days from now, we'll go ahead and fluctuate the lighting type situation.